So we're looking at the GB Willow stand at Hove Wreck for the Palmer's 2-day Zambuca Tigers match. Just going to see what they're up to.
They've obviously got to be sanded.
Yeah, sure.
The shape.
The craftsman at work.
Some bat making.
Well, I wouldn't say craftsman. I'm like a surgeon. Shall we say surgeon?
Well, they say that the bat's already in the wood, you just got to find it. That's what they say.
Yeah, there you go.
See, we use the same old tools as we did, I won't say 100 years ago because I wasn't alive then, though it might look like it. But it's just a feel, really. You know, people watch me do this.
Yeah.
And they think it's really difficult.
How do you get the weight of the bat?
Well, it's more of, the more you make, the better idea you get. So like at this stage I go and weigh it, see what it weighs, and if it's weighing 210 or 211, I think, well, I want to get down to 2.8, I'll take a bit more off, I'll go and sand it and then see what it says when we get to there, and you put it in the dryer for a little bit, because a lot of people take stuff to the dryer, because when it comes out originally from when it's been in the dryers in the cleft form, they're still losing weight because you've got that wood round it that's stopping.
So still some moisture to get out of that.
Ideally.
And what is the lightest bat you've made for someone that's an adult?
You can get the occasional light one about 2.5, but they're usually not very good bats. It just seems to be terrible wood.
Okay.
But normally you can, if you're lucky, you can get a 2.6, 2.6.5.
Okay.
2.7's good.
Are any pros using that sort of weight? No.
It's like the 2.8, 2.9 stuff.
Yeah.
Depending who you are, of course. Obviously, the bigger player you are, the heavier bat you like. But when I was making them before, they're more interested. They want a certain weight, but they're more interested in the pickup and the shape of the handle and how it feels when they've got it in their hands.
Okay. So it's not necessarily about weight; it's more about pickup.
Yeah. There's some that stick to the same shape. Some of them are very particular on the handles. If the handle's not right, the bat's no good. Simple as that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Alter the handle and then they're happy. People I've done for some like really thin handles, and you say to them, look, that's not going to last long. They're great, but they don't care if they're pros because they just have another handle.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
The average player, you know, can't afford to keep putting handles in every 2 or 3 weeks. But no, I mean, it's a bit of everything. The pick of the wood, to look at this is a nice piece of wood.
So what, is that one of your grade 1 bats? This
will be, yeah. As you see, you've got nice straight lines.
And that differentiates it, does it? The straight lines. If you've got lines going up the face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way you want it, presumably.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a red edge, but you know, we can't have everything how we want it. Some players like red edges, some don't. It's more like a design of fashion type thing, you know.
Yeah.
One season it's in, next season it's out. But
so what would make it a grade 2 bat or a grade 3 bat?
Well, it's the overall aesthetics. You can get a grade 2 bat that plays really well but just doesn't look good.
Okay,
and
so it's just aesthetics.
That as a grade 1 because they say, well, it plays as good as a grade 1 but it don't look like one.
Okay.
Because it's like we want everything. So if you're playing for a grade 1 bat, you want it to perform well and you want it to look nice.
Yeah.
Because then it stands out from the grade 2 and the grade 3.
Okay.
And when you get down to the grade...
I think I could deal with an ugly bat if it played well.
I think I could.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like everything else. It's fashion.
Yeah.
I went fishing once and I got all my fishing rods out to do carp fishing. And there was like £1,200 I got standing in front of me, and rods, line, alarms, etc. And this other chap beside me, he'd got literally pieces of paper, and for a weight, when the fish went, the paper would go up.
Oh wow, okay.
I said, how much that lot cost? He said 25 quid. And it done exactly the same as what my £1,200 lot did.
Yeah.
And you kind of think, well, what's it about?
Yeah.
It's about what you've got on the bank that people can see. I mean, it's nice to have a nice looking bat. I mean, you can see
it is.
You know, you get the bat, turn it over, it's nice and clean.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you grade a bat, you don't grade by the bat. So if there's knots at the bat, you don't take no notice.
So if you're taking weight off, where are you taking it from at this point?
Now, this is a bat that's got in curves. This can be turned into 2 bats as it still stands.
Oh really?
Yeah, because we have different shapes.
Okay.
So at this moment, this is still susceptible to me to make it into 2 shapes. So I'm deciding where it's going, basically.
Okay.
The best way to lose weight is with an in curve, but some people don't like in.
Did we used to call those scoops in the old days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scoops, yeah. But basically, if I want to lose some weight, where's my pencil? Oh, there it is. Depending who it is, you would take it off the edge. So I would turn it round and I'll put my pencil on it like that. Follow it down.
Nice. Yeah, I see.
I'll take that off, I'll do the same the other side, then reweigh it, see what it sounds. But we need really to keep this.
So you need that sort of level of thickness there, otherwise you're not going to get
no,
a
but it just
centre.
looks nicer. But, you know,
Okay.
it looks the part.
Gosh.
When they hold it down.
I'm beginning to think cricket's a lot about aesthetics rather than...
It's about everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. As I said to Simon before and other people, everything about this job has to be done exactly right. And I know that builders and painters, you can skimp things and cover things up. You can't with this. And the most important thing is if you don't press this back right, none of the rest of it's right.
So are you doing the knocking in as well, or is people that are purchasing bats doing the knocking in for themselves nowadays?
We do it. We knock a bat in for you if you ask for it, but some people prefer to do it themselves.
Okay.
Some companies, if you go to companies, tell you they'll put it through a machine. I've never come across a machine that can knock a bat in properly.
Okay.
Because it doesn't work, because they're different shapes, they've got different curves, and when you see a knocking in machine actually working, it's not hitting it right. So, I mean, Gray Nichols had one when I worked there. They'd tell the customer they'd put it through the machine was really no good, then it come back into the workshop and then it's knocked in by hand. But we had to put it through the machine because they need to know that it's gone through the machine like they said.
And what are you knocking in with? One of those ball hammer things? I used to have one of those.
Did I chuck it in here?
For my very cheap bats.
This is what we use.
Okay, so that's...
I usually put a bit of soft facing on there.
Okay, so it's not going to do too much damage to the front.
And then, if you see that edge is knocked in. You know, the way the
okay, so where it's the edge is not there.
So when I've completely sanded it and it's finished, someone says knock it in, I'll bang up and down these edges, both sides. I'll writ all over the face. And what'll happen is it'll lay on a table on a cloth to protect it, and I'll just keep banging up and down here.
So how long will you do that? Is there a look that it's got that it is knocked in?
Once I've knocked it in, I'll re-sand it again just to tidy it up.
Okay.
You'll still see slight indentations where I've hit it, but then it'll have a face on it will help cover it. But I'll do 10 minutes down this edge, 10 minutes down that edge, 10 minutes round here, 5 minutes on the toe, and it's done. Because what it's initially about is absorbing the impact, because it's new.
Yeah.
It's never received the ball before.
Yeah.
So it's just about getting it used. You know, if I hit this so many times, it'll stop denting because it's new tissue.
It's pressed it, yeah.
So if I hit there, it's already dented.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the back. If you drop the back, it'll put a dent in it easily because wood is a very soft textured wood. When it goes in a press, with my pencil again. Did I put it in my pocket? Oh, it's down there. When this goes into a press, obviously the wood's a lot bigger. If this is the top edge, when you've pressed the back, you've compacted this much. You push those fibres together, and this is what's producing the ping.
All right.
But if you go too far, say you went down to there, then that wood becomes solid and you won't get no performance.
No.
And if you only go this far, you won't get no performance again because it's soft like a sponge.
Yes.
So if you drop a ball onto a wet sponge, it absorbs
it takes all the...
and it doesn't ping back. So you have to get the pressing right, which is the most important part. And I think as a company, we've got the pressing spot on.
Okay, nice. I'm just going to have a look at some of your finished bats, or your bats that are for sale.
Yes, well, you're welcome to buy them all.
Well,
I mean, there's one here I made especially for I made 2 for a customer.
Well, I've just seen Matt's bat that he's got.
This
That's
is
grade 1. That's very nice.
Yeah,
isn't
this
it?
is the boy's bat. The chap who came to see us, I think it was his wife's brother's son, wanted a bat. He's a good cricketer, and I said, well, if you buy the normal bats that people sell, they come in from India, they're not very good, and he was a good cricketer, so I said, look, we'll make you a proper bat, because if you're good, you don't want to get a terrible
And
bat.
that's a grade 1, but it's like, what is that, a 6, is it?
This is a 6, yeah, but this is the top of the range. So I made
Okay,
2
nice.
identical to this. This is.
So he's a pretty decent cricketer, is he? Is he playing at a decent
I
standard?
don't know who he's playing for,
Okay.
but I was told he was pretty good, and I said, well, we
Okay.
don't want to give him a bat that's not
No,
good,
quite,
because
yeah.
you want to encourage someone
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get better.
Yeah,
So we made 2 like this. I said to him this morning, pick which one you want. He said, well, I'd like both, but he said, I have to talk to my
yeah.
friend to see whether his son wants it. Couldn't get hold of him. So I said, well, there's no problem. If you don't want it, you don't have to have it. If you do want it, just give us a call and we'll stick it in the post.
Great.
You know, it's as simple as that. But this is a grade 1 bat. Obviously I've trimmed it
Yeah.
to size to make the boys' size because they're bigger, but this would have gone out as a grade 1 men's bat.
And these are grade 2. We've got grade
Yeah.
2 and a grade 3 that's got a little bit of marking on that
Yeah.
edge. And that's
See-
it. Is that it? Just that mark there?
No, it's the grades are wider. You see how they're
Oh, yeah,
wider,
yeah.
then you've got knots coming in. This is a grade 2, that's a grade 2. But it's all about everything. Performance. You could possibly, if this performed well, mark it up to a 1.
Yeah.
But if it's not performing, it's not just about how it looks, it's about performance as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you put that beside any of them bats, you can see which one you would like, wouldn't you? It just stands out.
I see the grade. Yeah, I can see that now.
You know, it's a lot of
Yeah.
Indian people like lots and lots of grains.
Yeah.
You know, some say 18 grains across is the perfect number, but I don't believe in all that sort of stuff.
And this is the willow that it's coming from.
Yep. So it starts off initially, obviously, like that. It's then split into sections,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which come into this, and then Simon runs them through the mill, turns them into that, and then he gives them to me, and then I turn it into this. So the whole process is done in the same place.
Oh, great stuff.
Can I take a photograph?
Yes.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Very welcome.
We'll send others over.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My sister was fanatic.
Oh, right.
She was really delighted I take a photograph of it.